Who's this? I'm looking around to see if I've got a Chewy around somewhere.
You got no Chewy? Welcome to the Nerd Show, guys. Today I'm looking a lot like Chewbacca. I actually bought this for the grandkids, so they love it. They like when Grandpa dresses up like Chewbacca.
All right. It's all about making them laugh.
Exactly. So that's all that matters. How you doing, Peter Brown?
I am doing well. Just got back from Colombia a couple days ago, and what an adventure and nightmare that was.
Sounds like it. You can fill us in on that little. Yeah. I just got through some painful things. Talking about grandkids. I just lost a grandkid, regrettably. These things happen. He was 3 months old, and you just woke up one day and he wasn't breathing. So it's there's a name for it, but I forgot right now. But life must go on, and he'll always be remembered. And
yes.
I still got my other grandkids I gotta look forward to. So we got to keep trucking and start nerding.
Yeah, let's get your mind off of that if we can. I mean, that's a hard thing to get through. It's hard. That's a hard transition, but
I know
for us here on this silly show, especially when you're dressed like that. But
I had to do it, man.
We got to move on, right? I mean, it's a terrible thing to say, but you have to, and the family have to, start to heal.
Exactly. We're going through the healing. So, and part of that is looking like Chewbacca.
And have some fun and doing it. Right, exactly. Get your mind off it a little bit for at least an hour. Have a little fun. Talk about stupid stuff that we like to talk about.
And we can talk about stupid stuff. And apologies for everybody who ever saw us on the soccer show. I wasn't able to connect. I had the same problems today.
Same problem now.
But that's why we're late. But I think we figured it out.
Lesson was not learned.
No, I mean, it was learned. We just fixed the problem. And late. Yeah, a little late.
For those that don't know, I mean, I guess you could probably figure out by now. I am like neurotic about being on time, and when things don't work well, I get grumpy. I start freaking out. It's like so.
No, but Peter's had a lot of patience with me and with the world in general.
Nah.
Because everybody, especially he married a Brazilian, they're known to be late.
Yes.
So he's he knows what this whole Latin time thing is. So
yeah, I do. But I've been married to my wife for coming up on 21 years soon.
Whoa!
And so
that woman's going to heaven, I tell you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've gotten her trained fairly well as far as being on time. And then she's got me trained fairly well on maybe just being a better person.
More patient.
But
being more patient.
Because she's the better person between us, but yet I'm on time. That's the thing there. But anyways, so if like always, if you're watching this live, I see two people in there now in the chat room. But if you're watching us live, say hello, say hi in the chat. Let's get involved and have some silliness and have some fun on this Monday evening. Lots of fun things to talk about. Ed.
I like Peter's description. We're going to talk about hoaxes. We're going to talk about what was the other one? Hoaxes, dragonses. And
I don't even remember what I wrote. I said just some nonsense and some tomfoolery, as you call it.
Oh yeah, and whatnots.
Yeah, I mean,
we just went crazy with the synonyms.
Yeah, you know what we didn't really do, and it's because of your situation and me traveling. We never even talked about D23. That was up in Disneyland area, but a lot of cool things that were. I mean, not really a whole lot that was really revealed. They just brought people up on stage mostly. There wasn't a whole lot revealed. I thought they would have some things that they'd save and reveal, Marvel related or something like that. And I don't think there was anything really. Everything we saw that, it's all stuff we kind of knew was coming, but it was still cool. It was still cool. Lots of some park information here and there, but not a ton. But
well, we'll definitely be talking about that, and I don't cafecito's on there. I got my Star Wars cafecito thing going too. So, look at you!
They're doing this instead. I'm back on my. So I was in Colombia for a week, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it's really difficult to eat healthy in Colombia, Ed. Really, really hard. I mean,
the food's good.
It's good, but it's not what you would think. At least not where my home base is. My home base is on this street in this area called El Poblado, and it's a lot of burger restaurants. And I don't mean like McDonald's. Yes, they have a McDonald's, but I mean like good high-end burgers. Good stuff. But it's like how much of that can you eat? And every day I was going out with different people, and they want burgers, they want Italian food, they want all kinds of bad things. I think the healthiest thing I had was a salad, but it also had tons of pasta in it, so therefore it's not really healthy. And so, man.
So you gained some weight.
I gained some weight, so now it's time to get back to my White Claw things. If I'm going to drink, it's going to be these instead of the beer that I was enjoying in Colombia, because Colombia's got some good beer. Club Colombia is good. There's some breweries I went to, Bogota Beer Company, that's good, but there's not the traditional Colombian food you would think. Only one restaurant where we saw that. But anyway.
Yeah, well, look at that.
Yeah, I do need to get back on track now. Now it's time to shed some pounds and watch some nerdy stuff on TV. And but before we do that, Ed, let's say hi to a few people, because I see there are a few people in the chat room.
We sure do. Let's say hello to One World, One Goal. She's always supporting us. I hope she enjoys the look I've got going. Yeah. We've also got our good buddy Just Dread the Law. Thanks, bud. We're hanging in there, And we've also got Steve Munoz. Thanks for watching, Steve. Hope you're liking the Chewbacca too. And who else we got? It's a little slow today, but those are the people that I see so far.
Yeah, you take a couple of weeks off, and people forget about you real quick, Ed.
They sure do. They sure do.
So that just we'll have to get back on track and realize and get people
to know that we're back on every week at 9 p.m.
Hang on
live.
a second. One More One Gold said we had 45 minutes of food yesterday. Food talk, I guess. I didn't talk that much about food, but
Peter, I didn't even get to listen to the show because I was trying to connect the whole time, and then I thought, I should have just called in, like we did last time.
Yeah, but it's hard to problem solve while I'm trying to do the show, and
right.
I was struggling yesterday. I was struggling a little bit. There was so much to talk about that I didn't even talk about. But that's part of also doing a show right after the game. You don't get to digest everything that you really want to think about and say, like all the stuff that was racism related things and stuff like that. But we'll talk more about that another night.
We sure will.
Ed, while I was in Colombia, I'd go out to eat, but I was in, you'd think. You're in Medellin, you're going out for wild parties, but, come on, I'm 53 years old. So I go out for dinner with a coworker, and then I'm back in the hotel room. So which means I've got lots of time to watch House of Dragon. I've got time to watch Rings of Power. I got time to watch She-Hulk. So I got plenty of time to nerd out while in Colombia. So where would you like to start?
Oh, we can start at any of them because I saw them all myself. So I'm good. I'm up to date.
So
I also didn't go to work, obviously, for obvious reasons. So I had some extra time and I was able to watch stuff.
Yeah. So I can't help but, I can't help but compare House of Dragon and Rings of Power. I just can't help it because they're both magic related. And I can't help but pit one against the other.
Right.
And you probably shouldn't because they're very different shows.
They are different. They get these, Rings of Power has elves and all sorts of creatures, from back in the day. While the other one's more of a Earth type.
Got creatures too, but
well, they do have creatures. You're right. They got dragons too.
It's more about politics and incest.
Yeah, and sex.
Yeah, and potentially.
While the rings
banging your
has
uncle.
no sex, right?
Yeah, we're with House of Dragon. We're okay with the family tree not having any branches. It seems like we're okay with the family tree just going one straight trunk up in the air, right? There's no branches. A family tree gets interesting when you look at all the creative branches. There are no branches on this House of Dragon.
Well, let's talk about the character right there, Doctor Who. I mean, Daemon Targaryen.
Is he gonna wear a bow tie anytime soon? Is he gonna put on a bow tie or a fez anytime soon? Because if he does, I'm in.
Oh man, isn't it hilarious? I mean, sometimes I think about it that he was Doctor Who. I
can't get past it. He's a good actor. He's a good actor. He's doing a good job here, but I can't get past that.
Right. Because he's kind of too well known, and Game of Thrones. At least the last series, they basically a lot of the people, they weren't that famous, or they were they weren't just. He's a person, one of those people that's just it's kind of like typecast.
Well, maybe, but I know that One World loves to tell us that he was also in The Crown, which I didn't watch. I hear it's good, so maybe I should watch it. And the Queen dying, and stuff like that. It's about her, right?
Right.
So maybe you should watch it. But this show, it's. Are you enjoying it, Ed? Because
I am, because it's getting to the good part, and I'm kind of. I know where it's going because I didn't actually read the book, but I was so interested that I wanted to find out what it was about. Mm-hmm. So I've watched tons of videos on because I'm too lazy to read. I'm not like you, bookworm. I'm reading a Jack Reacher book right now. Well, look at that. Well, and so because of that, I know the past history or whatever, and this is like a few generations before. Daenerys or the last show,
right?
So we know what it's leading up to, and it's the big fight, the dance of the dragons is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's starting to I think next episode is when the older versions, we're going to the spoiler.
Okay, you said older versions. This is one of the things that bugs me about the show, is the time jumps. I mean. It's like every episode is like 3 years or something like that. I mean, it's not quite that far, but it's a lot of jumping around. Like this young girl, Rhaenyra, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
She's kind of odd. Yeah, she's kind of odd. She's kind of odd looking, but
yeah, she does look kind of odd.
But
it kind of makes sense because they're inbred, so they're not literally inside bread, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, going back to food, bread.
Yeah. That'd be something if they were inside bread. That would be nuts, Just,
would they be more like
I'm stuck in bread?
Would they be more like a little ham or salami flavored, or
Yeah, like, oh, look at me, I'm stuck in bread. Oh, get me out of here.
Yeah, a little bologna maybe. So this girl, I mean. I'm surprised the internet isn't like going nuts because the internet likes to go nuts about everything. Because like in the first episodes, she's like this cute young girl, right? And then in this more recent episode, spoiler alert, she's like getting down in a sex house with her uncle.
Yeah.
Now, from what I understand, I didn't quite get this, but the directors and everything, they talk after these movies, shows, and in the post-interview type stuff. And thank God they do, because they explain stuff to me being the moron. He was mad and he starts banging on the wall because he couldn't do it. And, but she was all about it.
He's got issues, man. They didn't have Viagra back in the day. So,
well, I mean, that's an issue I think a lot of people should have, though. If you're getting busy with your niece, you should have that issue. You shouldn't be. You should have problems here.
Yeah, you should definitely be like, dude, there's something wrong here.
And then she has to go have like revenge, sex with the guy, her Dorn guy or whatever he is, the
dude from
yeah, that she had the hots for originally, and that's why she kind of grabbed him, and it seemed she hired him,
took advantage of him. So
I agree with Judge here. It says there's a reason why Rings of Power and House of the Dragon were released so closely to one another. Ultimate Fantasy Series Showdown. Who do you think has the better ratings right now?
That's a good question. I've heard a lot of criticisms on the Rings. A lot of people are not liking it, but the thing is they're setting it up as well. It's the same thing with the House of the Dragon. This is all setting up for the actual showdown. For the actual fights that are going to take place, and same thing with the Rings. So in the beginning has to be kind of dull. That's why sometimes they shove 3 or 4 episodes up in your face so that you can get it over with. And then they throw the actual the part of the shows that people actually want to watch, which is the wars and those conflicts or whatever. So you're looking up comparisons, aren't you?
Can you tell? Are my eyes like darting around like I'm reading?
Yeah. And you're quiet, so I was like, and you're never quiet. So
no.
I was like,
yeah, I was doing a quick Google search, and it sounds like, I don't know. It says Lord of the Rings, their competition isn't each other; it's the future. Blah blah blah. I don't know. I think the headline I saw was that House of the Dragon might be winning. But Amazon's doing very, very well. So the battle of first impressions, HBO reported a jaw-dropping 25 million people watched the first episode.
Wow.
And but Amazon said something. I think it's saying there 77 million people might have watched the Rings of Power. So in that case, they would have won. But they're also saying there's a lot. Amazon just has a lot more subscribers, so it's not like apples to apples. Anyways,
right.
I don't know. So Rings of Power. See, it keeps throwing everybody off. Everybody keeps calling this show the House of Dragons.
Right.
Because you see multiple dragons. It's the House of the Dragon. And then I want to say, with this one, I want to say Ring of Power, but it's Rings of Power. So I keep getting them screwed up.
Because it's a whole bunch of rings.
There's at least a few of them, right? 4 or 5? I don't know exactly.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts? I mean, the dude was...
I like the Rings of Power. It's a little slow. And so people that read the books, maybe they might get upset, but I didn't read the books. So I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Didn't really care for them. Thought they were just okay, maybe a little boring. But this one is a little slow moving, but it does seem like it's going somewhere, and it seems fun. Like, I like this girl in the middle. I think she's cool. She seems like she's rallying the forces. And man, is it beautifully made.
Yeah, the views of are pretty cool. I guess they filmed them in New Zealand. Is that what they've said? It looks.
I don't know where it's filmed.
Awesome.
To me, it's probably all filmed on a green screen lot.
Could be.
So yeah. I who knows? Nowadays, and we're gonna get to like some Star Wars stuff in a few minutes, but a lot of like the Star Wars stuff, it's filmed in this new technology called that Lucasfilms created called The Void, and basically it's like massive screens, LED type screens. Before they would always film like on green screen, and they still do some of the time, but now they're filming in this thing called the Void, where they're actually filming with video monitors behind them instead of a green screen. And so it gives them this view of ultimate space. And it's pretty neat. If you see any of on Disney Plus, they have some specials about like Star Wars and stuff like that. And they show the Void. And a lot of other companies now are using it as well because, Lucasfilm doesn't only do Star Wars stuff. They'll do work for other companies, other people out there. And potentially Rings of Power could be using that or something similar to that.
Right.
It's pretty neat technology.
So you're in the camp Rings.
I prefer Rings of Power.
I'm in Camp Dragon.
I find it more interesting. They're both a little bit slow. They're both building to something. But I think one with the politics talk I find to be a little more boring. And for my PG-13 sensibilities, Rings of Power also is a little bit better.
Yeah.
For me.
I got you.
Kata's in here, and he wants to know where you got that hoodie, Ed.
Well, I actually got it a few years back. I actually no, it's been like it's like 6 years or 7 years ago, and I actually got some Frozen ones for the girls, for my daughters. They each got one. I think they lost theirs, so but I still keep mine.
So here's what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like your pajama.
This should be your Halloween costume, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see your wife now as like a female version of Han Solo. Like get her like in a Han Solo kind of costume, and you're Chewie and Han, right?
Oh, that would be hilarious. But she'll probably want to be the princess. I'll have to get her the ears and stuff.
No, it doesn't. I mean, Princess Leia hangs out a little bit with Chewie, but it's Chewie and Han, and I think it's cool. Like going back to the whole D23 thing or Comic-Cons of any kind. I always love when they kind of twist something. So you'll see a female version of a male character, or they do something with just a little bit of a twist, or sometimes it's a hell of a lot of a twist. But I think
I'll
that
see
would
if we can make that happen.
I think that would be awesome. Get your wife basically some riding boots, right, and some riding pants, and give her a jacket, and she's basically there, right?
And
pull her hair
the laser
ponytail or something, and give her a laser,
Mm-hmm. We'll make it happen. That'd be hilarious. So I think we're done right now with the dragon and rings, right?
All right. Yeah, it's taken the world by storm, but coming up soon, as in this week. So next week we will be able to deep dive into Andor.
Not to be confused with Andor. There's people out there.
No, it's that was.
Excuse me.
I don't know what they were thinking when they originally created this character's name, because it's only natural for you to start thinking that you're going to see a bunch of Ewoks running around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Instead, you might see a bunch of these guys running around, little stormtroopers.
Oh yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Did you see the preview?
Yes, I saw the trailer. Looks good. I mean, it sounds like it starts off when he's a young boy, and kind of shows him becoming, one of the lines that was in Rogue One that was so cool is basically him saying something to the effect. I don't have it memorized, but something to the effect that he's done a lot of bad things or a lot of questionable things in the name of good. Right, so for the rebels, he's done some questionable things. So I'm dying to see that gray area of Star Wars a little bit, where you're living in that area of questionable, like, are you a good guy or a bad guy? Because I'm waiting for them to come out with a show one day where it's from the Empire side of things, and they convince you that the Empire and that Law and Order is good, and that these kind of people are the heretics and the crazies and the what do you call it? Terrorists. These are the terrorists. And because that would be an interesting Star Wars show as well, Ed. It kind of reminds me back of, I don't know, did you ever see Clerks?
Yeah, of course.
So there's a classic scene in Clerks where they're kind of talking about the stormtroopers that were killed on the original Death Star, and how that they were basically all innocent people, or not only stormtroopers, because in the especially in the Return of the Jedi, when the Death Star wasn't even complete, you obviously had a bunch of construction workers. I think that's what they were talking about. I think there was the Return of the Jedi one, where they're talking about all the construction workers. These guys are all innocent and they get blowed up. So I mean, who's really the villain here?
They're just collateral damage is what they are. You know?
So I think it'd be interesting to do a show from that perspective, where we're looking at why the Empire is really the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime,
man.
In the meantime, we've got Andor. And what's neat is Andor's dropping 3 episodes.
Yeah, look at that.
Thursday.
12,
right? That's Thursday.
12 episodes. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that great? Because
I like
so
that.
many of these Marvel and these Disney Plus shows in general, so many of them are just 6 episodes. So we got a real season here.
This is like the real McCoy here. And how long are the episodes?
Well, that I don't know. But if it's anything like recent, they'll be, anywhere from 45 minutes to 34 minutes. Weird times. They're always short but odd. They're not it's like they what I've heard them describe is they're not held to a time limit. They're just telling the story. And if the story is 34 minutes, that's what it's going to be. If the story's 48 minutes, that's what it's going to be.
Good times. Oh, and I forgot to tell Kata where I bought it. I actually got this at Walmart.
Ah.
Yeah. Just so you know. Keep your eyes open for these things.
Kata is making a good suggestion. I think we should all follow, is that he might rewatch Rogue One once again to prepare. Although, I mean, it's not necessary, but I think I agree with you. It's not necessary because this is all.
But this is a prequel.
It is, but it's still.
So watch all this and then watch Rogue One, because that's the end of it.
Yeah, but it gets you in the mode, in the feel. I get why you're saying it.
I got you. But yeah, totally looking forward to it. I thought you were gonna play the preview, so I didn't watch it.
I didn't download any of the previews. Had a busy day, Ed.
Well, I sent it to you like a week ago, but you're probably busy in Colombia, so
I was out of the country.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe so I saved myself up for it, so so I wouldn't.
So you haven't seen the trailer at all?
No, I thought we were gonna watch it, so I'm gonna watch it as soon as we get it. We end the show though. How dare thee? But it's all good. I'm gonna watch. I can't wait to watch all 3 episodes. That's gonna be fun under the sun. Oh,
Up to see
Spies.
I'm having hang on.
Saboteurs.
so you're watching it, or you're?
I was getting it ready for you, but it just automatically started playing.
Oh, look at that.
We could do things on the fly sometimes.
All right, well, let's do it. You guys want to watch it? Here we go.
Full trailer. Hey, have you ever heard something like this before? The first full.
Oh, all those
Peter just keeps hitting the wrong button is what's happening.
All right, let's watch it.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Again, this is
Spies.
This is doing something
on the fly.
On the fly, that means I've got to make some adjustments.
Good old Cassian Andor.
I wasn't planning on doing this. All right, we're gonna watch it with all this nonsense all around it. Here we go. Let me back it up.
Spies. Saboteurs. Assassins. We've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion.
Cassian Andor. No matter what you tell me or tell yourself, you'll ultimately die fighting these bastards. Wouldn't you rather give it all at once to something real?
We've chosen a side. We're fighting against the dark.
There is an organized rebel effort. Drill down and get a hunt started.
You realize what you set in motion? People will suffer.
Time has come to force their hand.
At what cost?
Everything!
Every day we wait, they get stronger.
Let's take them by surprise.
For the greater good.
Call it what you will.
Let's call it war.
People are standing up. They're afraid. Right now, they're afraid.
Star Wars Andor, 3-episode premiere, streaming September 21st.
Awesome. That's going to be great. So I like his name being Cassian. You know, I predict excuse me, a lot of people are gonna, you know, start naming their kids Cassian, or at least their dogs.
I don't know. It depends on how big. Here's the thing: is Rogue One is one of those. Rogue One is one of those movies I think that people forget about.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came out, people were all saying this is the best Star Wars movie since Empire Strikes Back. It had a great buzz, but for whatever reason, it's been forgotten, I think, a little bit. And when I've mentioned to friends that, hey, Andor's coming out, they're like, who is that? So it's like he's just a character he needs this show. So
right.
If this show is as good as it looks like it's going to be, then yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe Cassian takes off, right, as a name, you know. Kata says, though...
or Saw Gerrera is also in there. That's a cool name, Saw.
Yeah. Kata says, I would name my dog Grogu if I had one.
That's a good name, Grogu. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of Grogu and seeing that I'm wearing my Disneyland t-shirt, and we were talking about D23 a little bit, that was one of the announcements that they brought out, is that they're going to have a meet and greet with the Mandalorian in Disneyland shortly, hopefully in Disney World sometime soon. But the interesting thing, that's not that interesting, you know, it's just a guy in a costume, but the interesting thing of it is he's carrying an actual like animatronic Grogu in a satchel. So you've got it. So the technology is there to where you've got like some sort of small animatronic that this actor, you know, can carry around. And I'm not talking about in a movie. I'm talking about in a theme park. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
I mean, I don't think Grogu's going to talk or anything, but he, you know, move around and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think, you know, he doesn't make a whole lot of noise in the show either. So
right.
That'd
be kind of cool. If they could actually, you know, he could actually use the Force to like move people, that would be cool too.
That'd be cool. That'd be very cool. But Andor that commercial, Ed, our trailer looks like a feature film. It does not. That's the one thing. Disney is hitting it out of the park with these you know, Disney Plus shows. They just, for the most part, there's some of the Marvel ones, I think, you know, maybe the technology is not quite looking as sharp, but these Star Wars ones, they just look like big budget movies on a TV screen.
That's cool, man. Yeah, looking forward to this. This is a good show. I like the actor too. He's actually Mexican, man. He
was in Narcos, the Mexican version of Narcos. He played one of the.
I know.
I
know him.
A little bit of it.
Yeah. He's pretty famous in Mexico. Him and the other guy that they came out in a movie together. This guy and I forgot the other guy's name. He's a Gael something. I don't know if you remember. Gael, I think is his name. They came out in a movie together, and after that, they've been in American films, and you know, they've taken over, you know, the American scene. So good for them, man. Mm-hmm. See, and you know, a good Mexican actor. You can't even tell. Well, he does have a little bit of an accent.
He's got an accent. No. I don't think it's a little. He's got a pretty strong accent, I think.
Yeah.
But it sounds cool. I mean, you know, you don't hear like in the Star Wars world, you don't hear that accent. You hear a lot of British people, So it's cool to bring in that accent. And also, I think Kata was mentioning, I think it was Kata, somebody on here mentioned that they were looking forward to seeing the little, here. No, it's different. Kata was saying I want to see the little guy from the new sequel trilogy that was like a bird thing trying to roar like Chewie. I don't know
those,
bird
those little,
thing, but Bob,
those little the little ones that were on the island with Luke Skywalker. Is that what he's talking about?
Oh, is he talking about the? Oh darn it! What
You would probably know the names.
I do know, and I can't remember. But Babu,
those little bird things.
Yeah, but Babu Freak is going to be in this show, and Babu Freak was in the last Star Wars movie. He's that little alien guy that reprograms C-3PO. He's not in that trailer, but he was in a different trailer. And that's cool. That little guy is cool.
Yeah, he's like really smart, and he does all these things to the droids and stuff. He's like the right height and everything. But yeah, I forgot the name of those creatures that he's talking about. They kind of look like puffins or something.
Porgs.
That's what they are. Porgs.
They're called porgs. Yes. And
they somehow got inside the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. That was funny. I was just looking for a quick image. Here's an image of a porg for you, Ed.
Good old porgs. For the dog.
Well, if I can get rid of the advertisement. There you go.
There you go.
There's
Nice.
a picture of a porg.
You got to get one of those for your dog. For Chewie.
I thought that was better than the real picture of a porg.
Mm-hmm. You got to get that for Chewie.
Yeah. It's good. I think this is going to be a great series. I think it's going to be really fun. And that just shows. An interesting thing in news was that came out. This was not D23, but there was a Star Wars movie in the plans called Rogue Squadron. People were excited about it. People thought, is this going to be the Rogue Squadron that was written in the Legends books that follows Wedge Antilles, the original trilogy time period? Nobody knew. But it was going to be directed by, I think her name is Kathy Jensen, something like that. The woman that directed Wonder Woman. And Disney has not made any comments, but it has been removed from their schedule. Oh, wow. So it sounds like that movie died. And
ain't going to happen.
It makes you, after watching Wonder Woman 84, I don't want her anywhere near Star Wars. So I'm okay with it, I guess. I was looking for... Imagine a show featured around just the fighter pilots. There's been several series. There was, like I said, there was the Rogue Squadron series of books. And then there's more recent series of books called Alphabet Squadron. That was really good as well. So I think that would really be cool, but it's been shelved. So it seems like it seems like the future of Star Wars right now is on Disney Plus.
Well, it's all good with me.
An interesting thing, again, I'm going to go deeper on Disney. They also, and this is interesting though. So they want to tie in everything. They want to own your data to some extent, right? That's what all these companies nowadays, Facebook, Amazon, they all just want your data. Disney's no different. So when you go to the theme parks, you wear a magic band because you don't have to, but they sell them. They want you to wear them, what have you. And it tracks everything you're doing, right?
Wow.
So now what they're hoping to do, and they said this is still in very early stages, but they want, for example, you go to the theme park, Ed, and you spend a lot of time looking for some porgs because you love the porgs. So it's going to know that somehow because of maybe things that you're looking at or where locations, or you're hanging out with Chewie on the Millennium Falcon ride. So then when you get home, they're going to have they're going to somehow tailor Disney Plus to give you more content specifically for the things that you were looking at in the park.
Wow.
As an example, they used for you would go to the park and you would look at a ride or an attraction, and then when you get home, next time you log into Disney Plus, it suggests like a behind the scenes video for you to watch of how maybe that favorite ride of yours was built.
Wow.
They want to tie it all in, which sounds scary, Big Brother type of thing, and also amazing.
Because they're going to get you what you want.
Kata says that's crazy, intrusive. Obviously, you know how things are. You'll have to opt in for all that stuff. You'll opt in. Look, if Disney in the beginning was giving away magic bands. They don't give anything away anymore. But if you have a magic band and you go into the parks and you wear it specifically so that you could scan for your fast passes, you scan to buy things, you scan for all kinds of things. If you're wearing it, they're already tracking you. So that's just
spend so much time in the bathroom, they'll know about it.
They know that they know that Uncle Ed is in the bathroom. They need to send someone in there to clean it up.
And they'll try to sell you like, I don't know, Disney toilet paper or something.
Hey,
remember, Disney air freshener.
Remember in Spaceballs. In Spaceballs,
merchandising.
There was merchandising, and there was some. I think it was like yogurt toilet paper.
Wow.
It wasn't Yoda; it was yogurt, and I think there was yogurt toilet paper. If I'm not wrong.
Nice. I'd get some of that.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that's part of it. Merchandising. They want to sell you everything. Awesome. So, what else are we looking at?
Kata says, I wear an Apple Watch, so I've probably been tracked for a while anyway. You are correct. We're all being tracked. Your phone tracks you everywhere you go. Anybody that thinks that they're not getting tracked or something, you've got to live off the grid. But so if they're gonna tailor, if they're already tracking me and now they're gonna just custom serve me things that I want. Like, look, some people don't like this, Ed, but I love it. So do you ever notice you talk to your wife about something, the next thing you know, you get on Facebook and all of a sudden that something that you're talking about is now being put in front of you to purchase? It's amazing.
Yep.
How the hell does that happen, right? Some people find that intrusive. They don't like it. Me, I'm looking at it like, hey, if I was just talking about Star Wars, yeah, Amazon, show me some Star Wars t-shirts. Because I was talking about it. Or if I did a search on Andor, yeah, show me some Andor t-shirts. I mean, I think that's amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's merchandising again.
Yeah.
But great. Ed, what are we haven't talked about the Hulkses.
The Hulk. I didn't bring up an image for the Hulk, but
look at you. But we still talk about the Hulk.
Look, I can't do everything.
Do you think Chewbacca could take on the Hulk? No, I think the Hulk would tear him up.
Chewbacca versus the Hulk. See, this is what we should really be talking about on this show. These kind of nonsensical stuff. I think the Hulk would beat Chewbacca. But the better question to me right now, because it's more relevant currently, is can She-Hulk beat Chewbacca? I think I think that Bruce Banner Hulk is stronger than She-Hulk. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what I would think.
Well, at least in the comics, he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
there was I recently saw something about that where basically when the Hulk came back from that planet that he was on, he actually beat She-Hulk up.
Kata says that She-Hulk has fallen off his radar for the past 2 episodes. Has it been good? What do you think, Ed? Has She-Hulk been good?
I thought it's been entertaining, but is it good? I think as a comic book freak, I want to watch it, and I'm going to keep watching it. But as far as quality, as a show, is it it's kind of forgettable,
right? And that's the one thing I've been harping on for a while, is that it's enjoyable for the 34 minutes or 30 minutes that you're watching it, But then if you've moved on to something else, like you start watching something else, and then somebody asks you what happened in She-Hulk, you're gonna be like, and the last episode. I'm sorry, Cod, if I'm destroying the show for you, but a lot of it is all just about copywriting.
Right.
The whole a lot of the episode is about copyright law.
Copyright law and
it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as cool as, say, something like Falcon and Winter Soldier, like Loki or Loki. I mean, they've done some really good Marvel shows, and I know they've got to spread their wings and they've got to do different stuff, and this is definitely that.
Right. But it's
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm going to keep watching it. I'm enjoying it, but it's just not memorable.
And she was. They were also looking for her. They were making her costume, I guess. Which
they were trying to get her costume all, and we still didn't.
They didn't show it, did they?
No,
because right now that I'm thinking, they didn't even show the costume.
No.
She just went to go try it out, and that was it.
Yeah, they left it, hanging there for next week, so we can see the costume. Yeah. But there's two, right? Because she wanted a business suit, so he's going to give her a business suit. But then there was something about like, oh, I made you this other thing. I don't need that thing. So it seems like she's probably going to have a superhero suit. And if I remember correctly, a superhero suit is basically like some tight yoga pants and like
spandex
sports bra, right? Isn't it? I mean, she doesn't wear a lot in the comic books.
No,
so,
rather sexy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe in today's day, maybe it's a all one piece, spandexy kind of thing. Steve Munoz is saying, I see Marvel moving a lot of the recent movies into more comedy. And I agree. He says, continues, Thor became a goofball. So much of a goofball that they decided not to bring back that director, Watiki, whatever his name was. So, I brought this up a few weeks ago when we talked, Ed, that I do have concerns that Marvel is like, eventually they're going to start making crap because everything ends. Everything ends. At some point, Kevin Feige's going to lose his golden touch. And is he starting to? I mean, are they trying to put out too much now to where it's just not all great? Eternals was a hunk of garbage. These last two Disney Plus shows were not bad, but they were meh. With Miss Marvel and then She-Hulk. Yeah.
I didn't even watch Miss Marvel. It just did not.
I watched it.
Had no interest in it.
I watched it. Hey, the girl in it, she was also at D23, and she's super charming because she is like this sweet, like nerdy girl. She's just so excited to be in it, and she actually likes the content a lot. Like she's a super nerd, so it's kind of sweet, but forgettable. So yeah, I mean, are they running out of juice?
It could be. It's they're trying to give us some stuff that's not that interesting. That's kind of like whatever. I hear you, Peter Brand.
Yeah, Kata is saying, is it too much Marvel at the moment? It's so overwhelming at times. At the same time, you want a lot of content. We just want it good, And Disney is planning on raising their Disney Plus prices again, or already have. And so in order to justify that, they need more and more content. And the content that people are tuning into is Marvel and Star Wars. So you're going to expect a lot more of those two things on Disney Plus, and they're also talking about doing, they've got a bundle where you get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus for a certain amount of money. But that's what they call like a soft bundle, to where you can opt out of any one of the three. They're planning on creating something that's, I think they're calling it like a hard bundle or something like that, to where it's a larger price, but you cannot opt out of one of the three. It's all together into one app potentially. So you potentially could see Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus all in one app.
Well,
And that
hot
will
dog.
and that would be, they still just want to make sure that they're cheaper than, say, HBO Max, which I think is the most expensive out of all the streamers.
Interesting. I definitely go for that one because that's a lot of good content right there.
Speaking of HBO Max, and we got to touch on something real quick, but before that, there was a headline that's saying that, potentially throwing out there, that the whole point of Discovery or Warner Brothers Discovery is to kind of sell it off. Like they merged it just to sell it or something. There is talk about Comcast potentially buying Warner Discovery.
Wow.
This was just somebody throwing it out there, some insiders, and basically they cannot do that because currently they own 33% of Hulu. It's a joint venture with Disney, and there was AT&T at one point, but Disney bought them out. So this can't happen until Disney plans on buying that 33% of Hulu. So I think it's in 2024. And so they can't, but they actually want to buy it sooner. They would love to buy it in 2023. If Disney buys out the rest of Hulu, this article was saying that potentially Comcast might be interested in buying Warner Discovery. I just don't know how that would happen with all the laws of like monopoly and stuff like that, because now that's two massive studios. I think it's bigger than say Disney buying 20th Century Fox, but I don't know.
Right.
That's interesting though.
Wow, that would be crazy. We'll see. What was it? You brought up the Warner? Oh, there you go. That's what I was looking at. Look, I was going towards that.
I could feel it.
So that's the big evil.
Yeah, and you sent me a trailer to watch. I did watch it. I don't have it prepared to play here, but it says in the trailer headline, a villain revealed. I didn't see him in the trailer.
I think they barely showed him.
I Googled.
It was just a fast clip.
Yeah, I Googled and I found this. But
it looks like the toy.
Yes, apparently that's what originally spoiled it. There was like a leak of the image of the toy. And that's what, that's what brought it out.
So interesting.
Rex says he likes the jacket.
Rex, how's it going, bud?
Baldwin 4 checking in. Sorry that he's late. He was watching Monday Night Football. That's okay. You could turn
I totally
the volume
forgot
down.
that we're competing with Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that might hurt.
Yeah.
But then you also wonder, like, do nerds watch football?
Well, there you go.
I mean, I did.
Yeah,
I watched the Dolphins.
Oh, But I've kind of like stopped. I used to watch football a lot more, man. But after Inter Miami started, I just forgot about American football.
Yeah. So tell me about this villain, Ed.
All right. So Peter, I forgot his name.
Savick.
He comes. Savick.
Yeah.
Well, so he apparently he gets his power from, how Shazam gets his power from, and Black Adam gets his power from, Solomon and all those, characters, Egyptian gods, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here, except he gets it from from the evil guy. So, similar powers, as Black Adam and Shazam have.
So, okay, you said that similar. It said it's the evil guy. So, is it like in the movie Shazam when they're trying to when the wizard is trying to find a new Shazam, he brings the kids into this temple or whatever, and they're tempted by some gargoyle-y type of creatures. Is that who controls this guy or gave him powers?
I think
those
so.
seem like those are the bad guys. Right?
Yeah. I think so. I think that's where he gets his powers.
Okay.
And what I like about it is that we're looking at the Justice Society of America, and it looks like they are trying to recruit or battle Black Adam in the beginning. So obviously they have to team up because this guy's pretty powerful. And you've seen clips where Adam Smasher and Hawkman and Dr. Fate are, kind of trying to control Black Adam. I think that's pretty badass. So they obviously needed a bad guy. They can throw Shazam in there, straight up. So no, this is actually Chewbacca. You can't tell by the
Baldwin doesn't know his Star Wars. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's just
Come
Chewbacca,
on,
man. Look at that. I got the weapon thing going here. So yeah, Peter. I'm gonna look up more on this on the bad guy.
I don't know anything about him. I honestly don't know anything about Black Adam really, other than he's kind of, before the movie. I had heard the name Black Adam. I knew what the character looked like, but that's about it. I didn't really know anything about him. So I don't know anything about his villains or anything. So this guy looks cool. He looks evil. He looks
Black
strong.
Adam's supposed to be a villain. Well, they're throwing him kind of as an anti-hero.
Anti-hero, right? Like the Punisher.
Right. Like he's really not a bad guy, but he'll kill. He don't give a damn.
Right. He said that in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
With Hawk.
Yeah, he'll take, that's why he's like on the borderline of being good. He's. And in the comic, he was actually a lot more bad. He was actually a total villain.
All right.
But so they're it's The Rock who's playing him. So of course The Rock wants to be a good guy, kind of or whatever. He wants to be the baby face, like in wrestling.
All right.
So that's what they're going for. But hopefully, there's been a lot of talk also that he's probably there's another movie coming up where he gets to fight Superman, and hopefully that'll happen because that's pretty cool. Superman does not go well against enemies that are magic related, so it should be interesting.
Did you read that comment, by the way?
I didn't. What did it say?
I was hoping it would mess you up because it was funny. Baldwin said, "Seriously, Ed is doing furries, and you say I don't know my Star Wars? Gee, guys." You're doing furries. Is that what this is, Ed?
Well, no. This is before that. This is I got this like 6 or 7 years ago.
Ed was a furry before furries were a thing.
Exactly.
Well, anyways, hey, I think we did good work tonight. It was fun. It was good to get back together and do this. Hopefully we can do away with our technical difficulties, Ed. But any last thoughts before we wrap this up? This was a fun show, I think.
Well, we're going to be talking about Andor a lot. That show's going to start. So there's 3 big episodes. So there's going to be a lot of spoilers coming up, guys. Anything that you guys want us to talk about, put it in the chat or put it in the comments. We'll definitely start looking at those shows or that you guys want us to talk about, and they're even throwing soccer in here. We're gonna try to keep the soccer for the soccer show, but whatever you guys want, man, because
it's hard to keep soccer out. It's hard to keep soccer out. You guys see Messi checking out the Inter Miami facilities? Wow, what could be? He's in town.
He
right?
was there today. Yeah, he was there today. Somebody had sent me a message that he was going to be there, but we got to work, and I live kind of far, so I'd love to just. I'm sure there were people hanging out on the outside trying to get a peek or whatever. So that's cool that we have that great training center. It's going to attract a lot of international teams, and plus people get to hang out at that stadium, and no one have the other stadium. So it's just it's a monopoly down here. The Moss Bros are doing good.
Baldwin showing up late, so bringing up all the topics we talked about earlier. So watch the earlier part where we do talk about which is better, Rings of Power or House of Dragon. We didn't go too hard on it, but we each picked kind of what we liked best. So we talked about it. All right.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, we're here every Monday night at 9 p.m. And you can also catch us on Sundays talking about everything soccer, everything Inter Miami at 7 p.m. live. Right, Peter Brown?
Yes, sir. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.